Good morning and welcome to today's press conference featuring FC Barcelona midfielder Andrés Iniesta. The time is just before 1:30 p.m. Central European Time.
Edgar, quan vulguis, sisplau. Gràcies.
Hola Andrés, què tal? Edgar Fornos de Barça TV, no vas poder...
Question from Barça TV.
La selecció, m'agradaria saber com et trobes físicament.
How do you feel since you didn't play with the Spanish national team these days? Good morning. I feel good. I feel better within the process of the discomfort that I felt in the match against Arsenal and training little by little with the team this week.
Que tanto mañana como el viernes pues todo siga normal.
And hoping that
pueda estar a disposición.
Tomorrow and Friday everything goes well and I can be ready to play for the team. Question from BN Sports.
¿Crees que el mejor homenaje sería ganar el Clásico a Real Madrid?
We've been paying tribute to Johan Cruyff. Do you think winning the El Clasico would be the best way to pay homage?
Muy especial.
Yes, it would be
durante estos días
special.
Bueno, el mejor homenaje creo que es lo que
I think the best
nos ha podido dejar a
tribute
todos, en especial a los culés,
is what he's left to everybody,
del fútbol y ese es el
and Barca fans and the world of football.
Que nos
That's
ha
the
hecho
true
nosotros.
homage.
Por nuestra parte, ojalá y el sábado dentro de lo especial que es el
It would be great
partido
if
del Clásico,
on
la
Saturday,
situación, pues podamos conseguir una victoria que
if
sin duda
we could
esa
win the
parte
game.
es una motivación más para
That would be
nosotros y
one more
intentar ganar
motivation
ese
for us to try and win that game.
TV3, Jordi, sisplau.
Question from TV3.
Sí, Jordi Grau, de TV3. Andrés, fins en el que portem de temporada no t'has perdut cap de les cites importants, però sí que tinc una mica la sensació...
You haven't missed any important games this year.
...que potser no has jugat tota la gran quantitat de partits que havies jugat en altres temporades.
But it seems like you also haven't accumulated as many minutes as you have in previous seasons. Is this something that you talked about with the coaching staff so you would come into the end of the season in top form physically? And do you feel like that's the way it is coming into the home stretch of the season? I think that it's a little bit of everything. In the end, the manager is the one who takes the decisions on whether or not you play. It's certain that in general, throughout the season, I've felt pretty good. I've said that this is one of the most fun seasons I've had playing for this team. I don't know the exact percentage of games I've played this season with respect to previous seasons, but I like playing, and I like playing every game. But I know that it's difficult to do. So I'm satisfied and I'm happy with the way things are going. And the most important thing is that when you do play, you play up to your potential. Not necessarily in order to get to the end of the season in the best condition. Fortunately, we're playing in all these competitions, but there's no guarantee. It's possible that sometimes you get to this point in the season and you're not in all the tournaments. We've been going day by day and looking towards the future, but not far into the future. And not just myself, but the entire team is looking forward to finishing off the season. And it's true that the little things are very important. Question from Rack 1. The games against Real Madrid are always important, but with the difference in points this year and that you're going to play against Atletico Madrid in Champions League, is this going to make this clash different? No, I don't think that we face this game and we approach this game differently than before. Each game is different.
Da casi igual cómo lleguen los equipos, si mejor, si peor, son partidos.
Sometimes you come into the game better, sometimes not so good, and the games are different. But everybody wants to win. Everybody likes beating your arch rivals. And everybody wants to take one more step forward. We don't look at the point differential. We only look at it that if we win, it's 3 more points with 1 less game and a bigger lead over the second place team and over Real Madrid. But we're approaching it as just one of the many finals that await us.
Catalunya Ràdio, en què ha canviat el Madrid amb Zidane?
Catalonia Radio.
Benítez.
Question: Has Real Madrid changed under Zinedine Zidane?
Realmente en lo que ha podido cambiar o no. Tendría que estar dentro de ese equipo para saberlo.
In order to know that, I would have to be inside the team. They're still a team that's very dangerous, with a lot of potential. And if we don't do the things that we need to do on the field, it will be difficult for us. They can make things very complicated for you. And I always look at Real Madrid as our main rival and very dangerous. So we're going into the game with a lot of excitement and looking to take one more step forward. Question from Cadena Ser.
Clásico con un nivel muy alto, muy superior al Madrid. La gente casi espera por goleada que el resultado sea parecido al de la primera vuelta. Esto puede ser peligroso.
You routed them in the first match of the year.
¿Lo ves normal?
Do you see this as too much euphoria or as normal?
Que es bueno tener un ambiente positivo, de confianza.
Having a positive atmosphere is good. I don't really like euphoria because I don't think it's good. I can't really tell whether or not I feel this euphoria that you talk about. But I would say that we're expecting a difficult game, evenly matched, and the little things will determine what happens in the game. We're focusing on doing things well and achieving our objective. But with a lot of respect for the team that we're about to face, because they deserve it, and we know that in any situation, they can beat you. Cadena Cope, question from Cadena Cope. In the first game of the year, you beat them 4-0 in Madrid. Do you think that they'll be playing with a chip on their shoulder because of that first result? Well, I think it'll be different because of the stadium. It's a different situation, but we both know each other really well. We know more or less how we would like the game to play out. We're expecting a nice game, one that the fans can enjoy. And we're not thinking about whether it's going to be like the game early in the season or in the point differential. We're looking at it as a big game and a very powerful team in front of us. A question from Radio Marca. It's true that a Clasico is a different game. And you're saying that you don't focus on the point differential.
El no estar acuciado por sumar puntos, el jugar en casa con tu gente, el haber goleado 0-4 y tener el goal average a priori a favor, puede dar tranquilidad para afrontar partidos donde
la intensidad. Do you think that all of the factors that you beat them earlier, you're playing at home, do you think that this could help you relax coming into the game?
O sea, el partido será.
No.
Creo que será igual que
I think
si los puntos fuesen
the game will be the same as if there were less points between us or even more.
Se palpa en el ambiente y en el
this is its own game.
Por lo tanto, lo afrontamos como es. Evidentemente que
we're approaching it
a principio de temporada
the way it is.
firmaríamos estar en esta situación cuando vamos a jugar
Sure,
este partido.
earlier in the season, we would have told you it would be great if we could get to this game with a big advantage over them. But we don't think about the advantage in points, or if Real Madrid is stronger or weaker, or if they're any different than the team that Benitez coached early in the season. We're looking at it with excitement and motivation, with a chance to increase our advantage over them and increase our advantage over the second-place team, Atletico Madrid. And that's our objective. We're not thinking about the other things, those things that are secondary to football itself. What's important is what happens on the field.
Andrés, Alfredo Martínez de Onda Cero.
A question from Onda Cero.
Estás comentando, y es verdad, lleváis una temporada extraordinaria y llegáis hasta el mes.
You've had an extraordinary season.
En una situación ideal.
You're coming into April in a practically ideal, enviable situation.
Y todas las perspectivas
with Copa del Rey final awaiting you, quarterfinals of the champions.
Del resto de los equipos, ¿no?
You are perhaps the envy of the rest of the teams. It is a very good situation.
Que quieras, lo único que
because of what's in front of us still. But as it is said in school, your grades, your marks come at the end of the course. The current situation is very good, and I think we would love to be in this position every year. And that's what makes us happy. Talking about envy, it's not a word that I would use to define the situation, but everybody likes to do things their way, and that's what's so great about this beautiful sport that is football.
Respecto a los partidos que acabas de jugar con España, me gustaría saber un poco qué opinas de Italia.
With respect to the games that you played with Spain, even without playing, what do you think about the other teams, and specifically Italy? Italy has a great national team. Not just because of their history with World Cups and Euro Cups, but because they're always good. They've been changing players as well, but they have a style that's changed a little bit, and I've seen it when I've faced them. They like to have the ball, and that's what makes them into a dangerous national team.
Es un jugador muy importante ya en su equipo desde hace años y está en la selección, pues tiene también su punto de importancia dentro del equipo.
And they're individual players who are important within the framework of the team. You are the Barca player who has played the most El Clásicos. You were involved in those classic Guardiola, Mourinho matchups. Can you compare playing then versus playing now?
Los que se han vivido toda la vida, excepto 2, 3, 4, 3 años,
I think that
no sé cuántos, nos hemos enfrentado varias veces.
They're all normal.
Yo prefiero eso, sí,
We've played each other many times.
Todo el mundo prefiere eso, ¿no?
But I think everybody likes to talk about football.
En un partido así, porque siempre hay mucha tensión,
sports-related
todo va a 1000 por hora,
confrontations,
todo el ruido,
but all of the noise outside the lines,
creo que a nadie le hacía bien.
I don't think that it's good for anybody.
Que se viven en momentos determinados,
but they happen from time to time,
pues hayan pasado.
And the important thing is that those things are behind us. Question from TF1 France. Luis Enrique said that Johan Cruyff brought spectacle to the sport.
Dentro de este panorama, quisiera saber cuál es tu propia definición del fútbol.
I'd like to know what your definition of football is.
Lo definiría como
I would define
un juego muy
football
muy
as a
serio.
game, a serious
Al
game.
final es nuestro trabajo,
In the end, it's
nuestra
our job,
obligación, y
it's our
dentro
obligation,
de que
and
es un juego donde debes de divertirte, pues
it's a game
hay una
that
responsabilidad muy
we should have fun playing.
importante
And there's an
a
important
nivel individual,
responsibility
a nivel colectivo y a nivel de representar
on both an
muchísimas
individual and a
cosas
team level to
a
represent
muchísima gente que
many
nos
things.
ve.
And
Tanto
there are a lot of people
combinar
that see
las
us.
dos cosas, ¿no?
So
trabajo y
I
la responsabilidad
combine both things,
de saber que
the work and the
que es
responsibility,
tu obligación y que
knowing that
debes
it's
de
your
dar lo mejor de ti
obligation
con el
to
juego y
give
la
it your
diversión
best,
que al final es lo
both
que
in the
uno
game and
intenta,
to
¿no?
have
Hacer su
fun,
trabajo de
which
la
is what
mejor forma
everybody
posible
tries to do,
y
is to do your
disfrutar
job in the best way possible
si
and
es
have
posible.
fun
No
if
siempre
it's possible.
se puede disfrutar o se
You
disfruta,
can't always have
pero lo
fun doing your
importante
job,
es
but
intentar hacerlo.
the important thing is to try to.
Hola Andrés, buenos días. Ignacio Oliva, a tu derecha. Para Goal.com te quería preguntar sobre el virus FIFA.
A Goal.com
Con
question.
molestias, ayer se lesionó Jeremy Mathieu. Malas noticias para el
Talking
Barcelona,
about the FIFA virus, the so-called FIFA virus.
con su selección. No sé cómo valoras ambos datos. Gracias.
Jeremy Mathieu is injured.
Bueno, y
Can you comment
esperamos
on that?
Parece que todo pinta mal con lo de Jeremy, con lo de
I
la
think
lesión.
that it doesn't look good with Jeremy's injury.
Las cosas negativas y que restan pues son
Negative things
difíciles de
do
asimilar,
happen and they're tough to accept
compañeros y de gente
because we're talking
importante
about teammates
para
and
conseguir los objetivos.
players who are
Y
important
las
for
cosas
us
positivas,
to
pues, siempre son
achieve our objectives.
bienvenidas y sobre todo pues para lo que tenemos delante
And
y el futuro inmediato. Intentar pues que
good news
que
is
las
always
cosas
welcome.
negativas pues sean las
We just have
mínimas
to
posibles porque nos jugamos
try and
muchísimo.
minimize the negative things.
Las lesiones que es
But
difícil
injuries
de controlar.
are difficult to control.
Andrés, Thiago Arantes de ESPN Brasil.
ESPN Brasil.
Clásico, bueno, siempre tan complicado, tan tenso, muchas veces se decide
The El Clasico is always intense.
por un uno contra uno.
It's usually decided by one play, a one-on-one.
¿Cuál es la importancia de tener un jugador como Neymar que tiene un uno contra uno de los mejores del mundo y que
How important is it for Barca to have Neymar, who's
Bueno,
such
dentro de,
a great one-on-one player?
de lo que es el
Maybe one of the best in the
colectivo,
world.
dentro de lo que
Well,
nos
within
tiene que dar nuestra idea de
the
tener
team,
el control del balón, de hacer nuestro juego, de saber marcar un poco el ritmo que
we
puede
have
tener el
to be able
partido,
to
pues,
control the ball and
indudablemente que
control the rhythm of the
al
game.
final esos desequilibrios o ese uno
And in the
contra
end,
uno, superar a un rival y tener la
players who
superioridad
are
para
great in
afrontar
one-on-one
la
and
última
can
línea de defensa o
throw
desequilibrar
the other
el
team
campo,
off
pues,
balance.
es fundamental.
It's
y es lo
fundamental.
difícil del fútbol, ¿no?
It's the most difficult thing about
talento, el
football.
desequilibrar y el
Having talent
ofrecer
and
esas
being able to throw other
posibilidades
teams off
a tu
balance
equipo. Sin duda, para
and offering your
nosotros,
team those
en un
options,
partido así es
especially in a
fundamental que nuestros
game
jugadores
like
más
this.
desequilibrantes en el uno contra uno,
It's
pues,
important to have the
puedan
players
estar en
who can
su
do that the
mejor
best
versión y puedan estar
and that they're
finos
playing
en ese apartado,
well
pero bueno,
and that they're
en un
sharp.
partido hay tantas cosas importantes que
But in one game, there's so many things that are important that you have to be playing well in all of those areas.
Xavier Hernández para el diario Marca.
A question from Marca. You don't score a lot of goals,
Contra el Madrid 2 veces.
but you have scored against Real Madrid twice.
Un gol contra el Madrid aquí, en el Camp Nou. ¿Qué recuerdos tienes del gol de la ida, del que marcaste
You scored
en la temporada
in
del Tata? Y
Bernabeu
¿se da alguna circunstancia para que tengas
when Tata Martino was the coach.
goles contra el Madrid?
And what do you see about,
me encantaría
what do you have to say about you scoring as Real Madrid? I'd like to score more.
No es una situación
It's not a,
que puedas elegir, ojalá y
it's
pudiese.
not something you can just
pudiese
choose.
elegirlo, pero
I wish I could.
bueno, se ha dado así. Lo recuerdas.
That's the way
como
things have played out.
goles importantes dentro de
I remember them being
de lo que es el
important
partido,
goals
dentro de lo que es la
within
situación, dentro de lo
within
que es
each
el
game
rival
or
o el
situation
escenario.
against the team we were
Pero
playing
bueno, más allá de eso,
and the
pues,
stadium.
me
But
gusta-
beyond that,
me gusta afrontar estos partidos con esa ilusión.
I
con las
like
ganas
to approach
de
these games
ganar
with
un
a lot of
partido así,
excitement, with motivation to be able to win a game like that, whether or not you score.
más pueda sumar, pues mucho mejor. Pero
Of
bueno,
course, the more you score, the
siempre
better.
veo
But
muchísimas otras cosas más que
I look
que
at
eso,
many
el
other
detalle
things.
gol.
apart from who scores the goal.
Hola, Andrés Corpas del diario El Mundo. Yo
From
te quería
the
preguntar por
newspaper El
el papel de
Mundo.
capitán. Es tu primera temporada como máximo
This is
exponente de
your
la plantilla.
first
No sé qué
season
lección
as the
estás
first
extrayendo
captain.
de ser el capitán del Barça y si con anterioridad a adquirir este cargo hablaste con alguno de tus antecesores. Muchas gracias.
Can you comment on
Bueno, es una
you being the captain and the people that preceded you?
A ver, cuando eres el primer capitán es
When you're the first captain,
distinto a cuando
it's
eres el
different
segundo o eres
than
el
when you're the
tercero,
second or
en el
third
sentido de
captain.
que bueno,
In the
que
sense
cuando eres el
that
primero, pues,
when you're the first captain,
no tienes nadie por encima
you don't have
o
anybody
esa
on top of
responsabilidad
you.
de llevar el brazalete. Siempre he dicho que es una
It's your
responsabilidad
responsibility to wear the
bonita y
captain's
muy
armband.
especial
It's a
de
beautiful and special
representar tantas y
responsibility
tantas
to
cosas
represent so many
como es
things.
esa situación. Y es una cosa que,
And
bueno, que la vivo con naturalidad.
it's something I live
Que un capitán
naturally.
sin sus compañeros no es nadie. A la hora
And I know that being a captain
tomar
without
decisiones,
good
a la hora de
teammates, you aren't anybody.
a la hora de cualquier situación, ya no solo deportiva, sino de
You have to take on each situation with your teammates, not alone.
bueno, siempre lo intentas llevar con
You
la
always
naturalidad y con las
try to do it naturally,
características de cada uno. Y evidentemente que he
and
tenido,
everybody does it differently.
a los mejores maestros en ese sentido
I
como,
think
como han podido ser
the greatest
Puy,
teachers
como ha
I've
podido
had,
ser
among
Luis
them
Enrique en ese momento
Puyol,
cuando subí,
Luis Enrique,
Xavi,
when I first came up,
Víctor
Xavi,
también, que ha estado por delante.
Victor.
Bueno, al final es una cuestión
In the end, it's a
conjunta
question
que uno pues,
that has to be taken all together.
que llevar o expresar
That
esa situación con
someone
el brazalete, pero ya te digo.
can express things in their own way while wearing the armband, but in general, I love it.
¿Se puede preparar bien
The
en las
question
mejores
from sport.
condiciones un partido como este en una semana tan atípica en la que han llegado jugadores escalonados y que el míster no ha podido contar con todos los jugadores?
What's it
Y,
like
si me permites,
coming into a
si
game
el
like El Clasico in a week like this without all the players
planificado algún
in training?
acto o alguna iniciativa de cara al partido para homenajear a Cruyff por parte vuestra?
And
Bueno, no es la
asking about the homage to Cruyff.
no contar con
Well, evidently, it's not the ideal situation. We'd like to have everybody in training. I think that we will tomorrow or
Pero
Friday.
bueno, pienso que
But
ya también es una situación
I
un
think
poco normal
that's a normal
dentro del
situation
calendario que
within
se vive durante todos estos
the
años
calendar
de competición,
that we have every year with the different competitions with the national teams.
situaciones. Normalmente también muchas veces coincide con el clásico y las selecciones. Bueno, no
It happens rather frequently.
pero bueno, los
Maybe
que
it's not the
han
best
ido a la
moment,
selección, pues no han dejado de
but
competir.
the ones that played
Y
international
los que nos hemos
games
quedado aquí, pues,
kept competing, and the ones that stayed behind,
recuperarnos, otros entrenar.
we've tried to train
Y un
and
poco es lo
rest up a little
es lo
bit.
que hay. Ya no
But
hay-
it's
no hay
it is what it is.
más que eso, ¿no? Por lo tanto, pues
There's
bueno,
nothing
lo que
else to it.
tengamos todos juntos, pues lo intentaremos aprovechar al máximo.
We'll try
Y en
to
cuanto a la
take
segunda,
advantage of
pues
what we
es
have to the
una
maximum.
cuestión que estamos
And talking
estamos
about
hablando, también
Cruyff, it's a
falta
question,
algún compañero
something
por
that we've been
ligar,
talking
pero
about.
algo personal y algo que
We still have
tenemos en mente, sí que
some people coming back, but it's something that
Hola Andrés,
will
buenas
be
tardes.
there
Claudia
and we'll
Collado
have
de
that in our
Movistar
minds.
Plus. Al hilo de
A
lo que te ha
question from
preguntado
Movistar
el
Plus.
compañero, ¿crees que puede afectar especialmente que Suárez y Messi no lleguen con el suficiente margen para el sábado?
Do you think it will affect the game that Suarez and Messi aren't back
No creo que no
soon
será
enough before the game?
situación
No, I don't think so.
de ese tipo. Es
Because
decir, han ido a su selección, han seguido
it's a situation
compitiendo,
where they've continued to compete with their national teams. They haven't been sitting at home. They haven't been off the field. We know the team really well that we're playing. We know what we have to
no creo
do.
que sea una situación
I don't think
trascendental que no
it's
hayamos podido contar con
transcendental that we can't have every single person to prepare the game.
Pues bueno, como he dicho antes, si
But
hubiese
as I said
sido
before,
en otro momento, pues
if it had
la
been
circunstancia
scheduled for another
hubiese sido
time,
distinta, pero no creo que sean
the
situaciones
situation would have been different.
como para
But
para que nos cree una
I don't think that it creates any anxiety.
¿Qué tal, Andrés? Muy buenas, David Bernabéu de Deportes 4.
A question from Deportes 4.
Sergio Ramos, compañero tuyo en la selección hace 30 años.
Today, Sergio Ramos is 30 years old.
¿Cómo podrías,
your national team teammate?
Lo conoces bien.
You know him well.
De su figura, de lo que más te llama la atención desde el punto de vista futbolístico.
What can you talk?
Si hay algún mensaje
What can you
para
say
él,
about him?
Para él de cara al
Or can you give him some sort of message heading into the game?
Con Sergio no descubro nada de
Well,
desde hace
I
mucho tiempo en la
know
selección.
I've known Sergio for a long time from youth categories and a national team, and we've had some of our best moments with the national team. And I've always said, for me, he's one of the best center backs in the world. Not just now, but it's been that way for a while. So when you have him as an opponent, he's tough.
Y que bueno, que es una persona que transmite muchas cosas a su equipo.
A lot of things to his team.
Del Real Madrid.
He's the captain of Real Madrid.
El segundo capitán de la selección.
He's the second captain of the Spanish national team.
Creo que muchos querrían, muchos partidos.
He's had a long career with a lot of titles, a lot of games played. Within the rivalry between friends, I have a lot of respect and love for him.
Demà l'equip entrena a les 6 de la tarda a Porta d'Encada i una hora abans, a les 5 aproximadament.
Tomorrow the team trains at 6 p.m. Have a good afternoon and thanks for listening.